Information is power.
All right, let's talk about these black pastors and this tithing and this scam that they run. Everybody, look. There's nothing wrong with believing in God and being a spiritual person, but we're being led by some of the most despicable pastors in this country, particularly your black pastors of these mega churches that are taking in billions of dollars collectively every year. And then at the same time, trying to use religion and spirituality as a way to manipulate spiritually the congregation by making them feel guilty if they don't pay a certain amount of tithing, stressing them out, what have you. Look, we're living in hard inflationary times. People are struggling to make it. And then we got these pastors that are living good, high off the pig and hog, okay? They're living good off the hog, and yet they're putting spiritual pressure on you, right? These are shalligans, everybody. And I don't know why we need to continue to call these individuals out, the Jamal Bryans of the world, the Creflo Dollars of the world. And in this case, remember, we had this fool right here, Pastor Marvin, who did this.
Ask you to do. Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do. Y'all not listening to what I'm saying.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. We got 1,000 plus 1,000. I mean, these pastors, these preachers are like pimps in the pulpit, right? Shaking you down every minute after every minute. They love that money. They'll do anything for the money. Okay. As I said before, all right, money talks and bullshit walks for these preachers. Now that was a shame because he mistreated that woman right there. I did a video earlier about that, or later on down the line, I did a video about how she was even treated by those in the church. He guilt tripped her. We got the same thing going on with this guy right here by the name of Eben Conner of the Word of Truth service. This is a young pastor right here, everybody. He's running the same type of manipulation. Now, I had said earlier in the video that I did just this past week about Jamal Bryant and the Target boycott that this pastor was asking for people to show their tax returns. I made a little bit of mistake there. He didn't ask for tax returns, but he simply was asking for them to forego paying their major bills. Someone told me that this guy right here, as you see right here again.
If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
All right. Somebody had made mention in my comment section that he actually has done that himself. Pastor Marvin asked for the congregation to show tax returns. Now, this young man right here, he took it a step. He took it to another step, y'all. Let me read this to you right here. Okay, Pastor Eben Conner sparked a debate after his sermon went viral on March 2026, where he instructed his congregation to pay tithings to God before covering essential expenses like daycare, groceries, and mortgage. He argued that the pluralization of tithing shows faith for financial blessings, demonstrating that paying bills first is the reason some believe a lack of blessing. This is nothing but manipulation by this pastor, y'all. This is manipulation. So basically, he's saying that if you don't pay the church a tithing, this man right here who's driving a Rolls Royce, look at this right here. He's living the good life. Doesn't this remind you of Bishop Whitehead from Brooklyn, the one that went to jail, who's in jail right now, who's in prison right now, who was going around showing you how he had all this luxury, that he's living in a mansion. Come to find out he was running a scam. And of course, we all thought that when his church got robbed and he got taken of his chains around his neck, that was another scam. This guy right here in this car reminds me of Whitehead, who had a Rolls Royce as well. Now, we're not saying that you're not supposed to not have desire to have good things, but how are you going to tell black people in the times that we're living in that they need to forego paying their bills, their childcare, their mortgages, which keeps a roof over their house, feed their kids first, that if they don't give tithing to the church, that somehow they're going to be cursed by God and that God is not going to bless them. So he's basically saying through his manipulation, okay, everybody, through his manipulation that if you pay me first, because that's really where this money's going. If you pay me first, God will bless you with taking care of the bills that you pay. And the last time I checked, And I'm not acting like I'm a biblical scholar or anything of that nature, but the last time I checked, God helps those that helps themselves, right? The last time I checked, God helps you. God will help those that help themselves. But what he's doing reverse engineering. He's saying, oh, you give the church the tithing and then God will benefit you. And then another thing that's crazy about this, and I must say this. Money and currency, paper currency, which ain't nothing but paper, coin currency, God has nothing to do with monetary currency that humans have created. Why would God need $1, $20, $100 bill if God is all knowing, if God is all powerful, if God is the creator of this world and universe and us as well? Why would he need or desire money, a human concept? So when these churches put this manipulation on you, you got to question the individuals like this who are living good themselves. Let me show you the video in question that we're talking about right here. Check this out, y'all.
My tithe is what? 100. So, man, I got to pay my daycare. They're going to kick my kid out. Here we go. All right. Oh, also, I need to pay my phone bill because T-Mobile about to cut me off. Grocery. Ooh, my kid's hungry. Oh, the Lord. Oh. Here's the Lord. Here's your $100, Lord. Thank you. And then here's my mortgage payment. Now, you say, well, Pastor, that's good. That's not good. Now, see, here's the difference. I'm helping somebody right now.
No.
If you just switch the order, you will see.
Here's the manipulation, y'all. Here it comes. See, if you simply give us the tithing, God will bless you to pay your bills. Here's a man who lives in a mansion or lives in a very nice home. This is a pastor who has, look at this. He has fine vines. Look at that. He got good shoes on. Look at that watch right there. That's his watch. Living good with his wife, driving good, driving that Rolls Royce, right? Living in a nice, what we call a cozy home. Look at the inside of his living room. Now, he put this on Facebook, on his Facebook page. He lets you see how he's living. He's living real good. Look at his suits and shoes and look at this right here. I want you just to look at this right here and examine what I'm saying. Look at his suits. He's got a walk-in closet. Most people don't even have a walk-in closet. You dream of having a walk-in closet. But there's his suits and look at that. Look at that. There he is laughing. But look at it. Look at it here. Look at his shoes. I want you to see the air. That's all his suits. Look at those shoes. Look at the shoe collection that you just saw right there. And I'm going to spin it back to that area. Right there. This man has a whole drawer of shoes. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't have a right to live good, have a good life if he's a honest broker, right? We're not saying that he doesn't have a right to that. But I just want you to see how he's living while he's telling people in his church who may have less than him that they need to prioritize the church first as far as tithing before they pay their mortgages, their food for their child, their phone bills, all the essential things in life that you need to survive in this society because we live in a world where you must pay bills, you must pay essential things. Shit costs money. While he's talking that, he's living pretty damn good himself and high off the hog, okay? Look at them suits. Okay, this man is living pretty damn good himself. Let me move this back up, let y'all hear this once more, and check this out.
Oh, the Lord. Oh. Here's the Lord. Here's your $100, Lord. Thank you. And then here's my mortgage payment. Now, you say, well, Pastor, that's good. That's not good. Now, see, here's the difference. I'm helping somebody right now because if you just switch the order, you will see some increase come. Most people do what I just did. Watch this. They gave a tenth to the Lord, but they didn't do it first. We gave him a tenth, but this is how you can give a tenth and not give it first. But the scripture says the first one is what? So I done gave my money to somebody the holy money. I done gave it to the phone bill people. And you only give the 10th first to somebody who can bless you. So let me y'all give me my money back. Give me that. Give me this. Give me this. Give me this. Give me this. Thank you. Give me. Thank you very much.
So basically, you give it to the church because you'll be blessed. This is what you call spiritual manipulation. Because while he's telling black people this in his own congregation, he's living good. I'm sure he's paying his bills off of the money that y'all giving him. And then these churches, particularly these black churches, are always in communities where people on the outside are starving. They're living homeless. They're struggling. I got some more clips for you all that's going to really blow your mind here. Let's continue.
Now, this is what should have happened. So who should I give to first? The Lord. Switch places with somebody, Lord. So it don't matter where the Lord is on this. What matters is if whatever comes out first belongs to who? Okay, so here you go, Lord. And so watch this now. As I begin to pay other things, and let's say now it looks like I'm coming up short, God is obligated at that point to supply all of my need because he's supposed to do that because I've honored him with the first.
Like I said, as far as I know, God helps those that help themselves. And why would God be concerned about monetary paper, coins and dollars? This is a human-made concept as a form of currency to pay or buy something. Remember, we used to live in a society where people would barter with their animals and their possessions and what have you, before you even had what we call paper currency. God has nothing to do with a dollar. God has nothing to do with your bills or any of these other things. You have bills you have to pay to take care of your kids. You got daycare. You got to put food on the table. I'm sorry. God helps those that help themselves. Your job is to help yourself first by feeding your kids, feeding your wife. As a man, taking care of your responsibilities, which is first your family. And if that means keeping a roof over your family's life, such as paying the rent and paying the mortgage, then that's what you're supposed to do first, because God helps those that help themselves. Tell me I'm lying.
Tell the truth.
Eben Conner is just simply doing exactly what most of these chicken foot, pigskin eating preachers do, which is manipulation. Why, as I told you before, he's living good, driving good cars with his wife, right? Living in nice community, right? Got a nice living room at home, right? Got lots of fine vines and suits hanging up and has a whole shelf full of shoes and what have you. There's the wife right there showing you his suits because she was trying to convince him what she wanted him to wear, right? You see her right there, right? Then he's laughing. I'm just playing this again. And you will see he's got some nice things here as far as suits. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. A whole shelf of shoes. Like I said, some of us don't have a walk-in closet. Some of us don't have that type of luxury that we're living in. How can you tell people in your congregation about what they should pay first in terms of the tithing, and you're living like a king? This is the reason why people, particularly men, black men in particular, we stop going to church because we've already figured out the con game. This is why black people in general are pulling away from the church, because all they see is the church saying, give me, give me, give me, give me. And these pastors always wanting more and more and give me some more out of you. And then people are figuring out this is all nothing but a money game in these churches because they're not doing anything in the community but doing this to us.
I'm going to work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do. Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm going to work on the other 800.
It's a damn shame. Now, let me show you a video. I found this video. This is a brother that was on Instagram that I found. He made some really good points about churches. So you're going to see in the first clip where he's outside. I got two clips from him where he's outside of what looks to be a huge mega church in a community that was very poor, I think he's in North Carolina, what have you, Durham, North Carolina. And let me let you see this right here. This is going to be very interesting. Check this out.
I just want to say, look at this church. It looks like a cathedral, right? You got cars lined up all on the side of the road. But look, it's in the hood. Then you got another church right here that don't look like, they're doing quite so well or whatnot. But the point of this video is it's in the hood. Mm-hmm. So what have black churches done for black Americans? I hear a lot of them talk about.
That's the key word. I want you all to ask yourself, what has the black church done currently? Not the past, not when Dr. King was doing his thing. I don't want to hear about the past. We're talking about currently in the 21st century. What has the black church done currently to be relevant to what's going on with black people right now? He asked a very poignant question. I want you to write in the comment section of this video, what are your thoughts? And you must be honest. I demand honesty here.
We're building schools in Africa. We're doing this for Africa, which is cool. All right, cool, whatever, cool. Africa, we know that's the motherland, but don't forget about the reverse slave trade. Mm-hmm. Don't forget about that, where it was 20 and odd Negroes here already. Now, there is half a mile down the street, there is a man shelter, homeless men shelter. Mm-hmm. Why are we continuing to do stuff in Africa when guess what? We can just do this right now the road in our community.
Now, I'm going to ask a very controversial question to everybody out there listening. You do hear some of these churches saying how they're giving donations to Africa, what have you. But this is the question I'm going to ask. What has the African done for the black American? Do you see Africans, the ones that have the money and resources, the kings, the royalty? Do you see the Africans coming we see Africans coming over here to America, going to our schools, getting education and whatnot. But do you see the Africans coming to America to build schools specifically for black American children to help them out? We are actually doing, as black Americans, we are actually doing more for the continent than the continent has ever done for us. And they sold us into slavery with the help of the Europeans alongside. They made a profit off of selling us into slavery. The Mahomey tribe, what was that tribe? They did a movie, Woman King. They were involved in snatching black people up over there because you had intertribal warfare. But let's get back to this. I don't want to get off topic.
When is black people going to stop giving the preacher the money? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You understand? When are black people going to stop giving preachers the money? When are preachers going to stop trying to try to really pull the tithes out of people? You're trying to guilt trip people. God's not in that church. This is that other church right here. This is that other church. Now, look, it's in the hood. It's in the hood, but you got preachers and pastors that live like kings and queens. But your neighborhood is fucked up. Your neighborhood is fucked up. They're gentrifying this. They're gentrifying this. This is off of Statesville Road in Charlotte, North Carolina. They're gentrifying this. They're gentrifying this. But when are we going to buy back our own communities? Wow. What are you guys doing with them tithes and them offerings that you can't come out and buy back into your own community? I don't get it. I don't understand. And Jamal Bryant, he wants to be a leader so bad, but ain't nobody listening to him. Ain't nobody following him. You are not Martin Luther King.
My tithe is what? 100. So, man, I got to pay my daycare. They're going to kick my kid out. Here we go. All right. Also, I need to pay my phone bill because T-Mobile about to cut me off. Grocery. My kid's hungry. Oh, the Lord. Oh. Here's the Lord. Here's your $100, Lord. Thank you. And then here's my mortgage payment. Now, you say, well, Pastor, that's good. That's not good. Now, see, here's the difference. I'm helping somebody right now. Because
no, you're not. No, you're not. Go back.
You do not have the ears of the public. Why? Because we can see clearly through you. You are a fraud. You're a
All of
fraud,
them.
you're a fake. And we can
Right.
clearly see it.
Jamal Bryant is a fake, as I talked about him as far as the Target boycott. He's a fake. He was ran out of Baltimore, Maryland by the people. That's why his ass is in Atlanta, Georgia. Clefo Dollar is a scan artist, all right, allegedly. We know that Eddie Long was doing things in the church to young black males, nasty things, okay? You've got TG Jakes or whatever the hell his name is. We got him bouncing around with Diddy, rumors about him being at Diddy parties. And then we got pictures of him hanging out with Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, who's a racist. Let's continue.
Nobody following you, sir. Nobody following you. So has the black church really done the black Americans a disservice?
Yes.
Like I said, there's a homeless man shelter right down the road that looks like shit. Why haven't we taken our tithes and offering to help them out, but we got to go help our people in Africa? Why? Just think about that. Does it make sense?
Doesn't make sense.
What are they doing with these tithes and these offerings? Black people, y'all better stop following these crooked pastors.
Right. Stop following these crooked pastors. Okay? These type of individuals like this Eben Conner, who plays a manipulation game.
We'll see some increase come. Most people do what I just did. Watch this. They gave a tenth to the Lord, but they didn't do it first. We gave him a tenth, but this is how you can give a tenth and not give it first. But the scripture says the first.
See the manipulation right there? Now, that brother that was talking about the homeless shelter and what have you, I'm going to go to that clip as we get close to the conclusion of this podcast, but you get the point. Let me let you see the next clip from this brother and what he's talking about right here. This is very interesting stuff. Check this out.
Now, guys, I just want to show y'all something. This is the men's homeless shelter. This is the men's homeless shelter. This is the hood, right? A quarter mile down the road, you got that big mega church that I showed you guys. It's in the hood. It's in the hood. Now, there's been a lot of things going around talking about and showing video footage of black preachers going around saying that they need the tithes and offering and God is going to bless you and all this and all that. Man, look at this. And then they have the nerve, when you go to a black church, they have the nerve to say that they opening up schools in Africa. We're opening up homes in Africa. But look at our own community. Look at our own community that looks like shit. But you're in a big cathedral type church in the hood where gentrification is going on. What's up with that? You black congregation members that want to say amen all the time and all this because you're brainwashed, you need to stop giving your money to all these black preachers that ain't doing shit for the community. You're not getting no closer to God by giving them your tithes and your offering. You're not getting no closer to God by giving them your tithes and your offering. They're not out here. You know what I do with my offering? I'm out here with the homeless people. I'm out here offering them food, giving them $1 or $2. If I don't give them $1 or $2, I'm giving them some food, some water, when the last time you seen your church in the community? Not just a photo op, but a community. Jamal Bryant ain't shit. That's why he trying to be a leader, but a lot of people see through him. He's a fraud. He's a fake. He's a phony. A lot of these black preachers are frauds, fakes, and phonies. They not out here in the community. They not out here in the community. So when are we? Look at this. Homeless people. But guess what? You go to church every Sunday, and the pastor, they want that. And then they'll brain fuck you and say, God said he's waiting on so many amounts of people. Michael Todd, he's a fraud. He's a fraud. All these preachers are talking about God said this and God said that. And why God ain't tell it to me?
Right.
In the words of Smackwater, why God ain't tell it to me? Bitch ass nigga. Keep telling
with somebody, Lord. So it don't matter where the Lord is on this. What matters is if whatever comes out first belongs to who? Okay, so here you go, Lord. And so watch this now.
Let me take that off of there. I want you to judge this video on its own merits of what I've shown you. Give me your honest opinion. Only honest opinions only should be written on this. That young pastor that I was playing periodically is Eben Conner. I showed you some small clips. He's living a pretty good life while sort of using spirituality or the belief in God to chastise through a sermon his audience and say that if you pay the tithings first, then God will bless you with all the other bills you have. That ain't how it works. God blesses those that help themselves. Helping yourself is taking care of your first responsibilities, which is taking care of your kids, your family, your mortgage, and what have you. If you're going to if that's what this is really all about. Or this is really about how these pimps in the pulpit continue to manipulate black people to get our money and guilt trip us on a spiritual way, in a spiritual matter, using spirituality and belief in God to guilt trip us into how we spend our money that we earned. He didn't earn it. They earned their money, but yet he guilt trips them with that sermon. Let me know what you think about that. This is crazy. This is the Information Man Show. Peace.
I'ma give it to you. Miss that smile. Lord knows I ain't seen that in a while, but it's your style. So something must be up keeping you down. You a queen that must be heaven sent. Pray my soul, I must repent for not telling you what I meant and how I felt. Honestly, I'm used to
BS3 Network is now on Roku TV under BS3 TV. Download today. BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV. You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
She my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret every day. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you. La, 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 Feel it, baby, stress is all around us. These high ceilings and I need it, baby. Pressure and make diamonds, I won't steal it, baby. Silent, baby, hurts to see you crying. Know you trying, ain't no lying, baby. When I say I need you, greedy if I have to share you. It was me that all along did you wrong, thinking that I made you beautiful and strong. This toxicity, the death.